Hello, and thanks very much for the AMMF for asking us to do this. My name is John Bridgewater. I'm a clinical researcher at the UCL Cancer Institute, and it's a great pleasure to be here with my colleague Umair Mahmood. Umair.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Umair Mahmood. I'm a research fellow at the University College London Hospital, and working on our portfolio of cholangiocarcinoma studies. And it's a privilege to be here. And I should just preface by saying we are absolutely delighted to have been awarded a AMMF grant in support of our latest academic initiative. So I will just go ahead and describe our project, which was recently funded. Just a brief overview that cholangiocarcinoma is an uncommon cancer type in the GI cancer subset, and is associated with very poor survival in our patients, with very limited outcomes when patients are receiving the standard of care chemotherapy, which is commonly cisplatin, gemcitabine, and durvalumab immunotherapy. So our project essentially is building upon the findings of the upcoming trial, which is fastly accruing, the ABC10 trial, which involves patients receiving standard of care chemotherapy and then later on receiving matched target therapeutics, which are matched according to their unique genomic profile. And the idea is to combine this data set with the real-world evidence data set being established as a large global collaboration by the European Network for Study of Cholangiocarcinoma, to compare how well patients are doing on these target therapeutics and how we can further improve on these findings, and to compare and contrast the differences in our clinical practice across the UK. So there are three main outcomes of our study here. Essentially, the first one is to address some of the challenges we see in terms of their healthcare delivery in cholangiocarcinoma. One of the main issues is the lack of standardized routine genomic testing for these patients, which is absolutely critical to match these patients to the specific target therapeutics of interest. And we hope that by this initiative of combining our data set with ENS-CCA, we will be able to establish a new precedent to advance the idea that we need to incorporate genomic testing as part of routine standard of care clinical practice. And this is really important when it comes to reimbursement for these expensive tests in the UK, and also to be able to provide these target therapeutics to these patients. We also think it's going to be important from the personalized medicine standpoint to be able to match the tumor biology of these patients to target therapeutics, not only in terms of being able to provide these treatments to these patients, but also to have regard for the sequencing of target therapeutics with respect to chemotherapy and immunotherapy. I think the second major outcome would be advancing scientific research. So ENS-CCA has been instrumental in driving some of these basic translational and clinical research in this field, and in collaboration with our academic partners. And we hope that this project will lead to new insights into the genetics, epigenetics, and molecular pathways to inform new research studies. And finally, we hope that this study will also lead to further improve the clinical and patient guidelines to further advance the standard of care for cholangiocarcinoma.
Tremendous. Thanks very much, Umair. That's a very good summary of what we plan to do. Just a few comments about it, really. We've discussed this for some time, particularly when we put in the application. But the ENS-CCA database itself has been up and running for several years now, and is actually quite large. There are about 5,000 patients already in it. What do you think we will be able to add to that, apart from another 2,000 patients or so, which of course is not inconsiderable. But what I mean, ENS-CCA themselves, we've met with them, are incredibly excited about this initiative. What's the real USP that we've got that they are excited about?
I think there's two aspects to it. So one is this rich molecular data that's going to be accessible, which is not really common practice in Europe and the UK as well. And we are very fortunate to be able to have access to that platform to be able to provide that rich genomic data, which can be used for scientific discovery and to assess clinical outcomes. But I think the other aspect is really going to be able to see the impact of matching that genomic data with the clinical outcomes when you're putting these patients on target therapeutics, both in terms of the nature of the target therapeutic and the sequencing as well. And that will be really informative because we've seen recently how there have been significant improvement in terms of efficacy with some of the classical futibatinib and ivosidenib as well, targeting FGFR2 and IDH1 mutations. And being able to incorporate this data and comparing it with real-world evidence with ENS-CCA's collaboration would be truly instrumental in driving research and patient outcomes forward.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. If I could just add one further point to that, and then make one other general point. The further point is that these will be clinical trial quality data. The ENS-CCA data is, for the most part, a retrospective series, and what the aficionados, the data aficionados, would consider probably less beautiful data. Clinical trial level data is the best you can get, and they are absolutely thrilled to have this quality of data in their database, which they can use. And the database, incidentally, then becomes open access to anybody who wants to use it, and I think that's an incredibly powerful tool that we have. And then just my general point about data and so on. The AMMF have always emphasized the importance of data. One of the, well, arguably the primary issue with management of cholangiocarcinoma is that there isn't much data out there. It's an uncommon cancer. Little is known about it. Many healthcare professionals are still, in my view, sadly, extremely ignorant about the best way of managing cholangiocarcinoma. And so the whole emphasis on getting data out, as in the new NHS initiative, and getting more data out about cholangiocarcinoma, I think is in line with what we want, and also one of the aims of the AMMF over the years to really get accurate data on this dreadful cancer. So that was my only other comment. Any other final comments, Umair, or are we ready to go with this great project? Thank you very much, AMMF.
Thanks so much again. Really appreciate all your support with our latest initiative.
Thank you.